Welcome to this week's episode of Success in Women. I'm Linda.
I'm Andrea.
And today we're going to talk about things that might be going on in your life that's a little bit of a struggle. Andrea and I are having our own personal issues, so we thought we would share because we know other women might be. But before we get started, Andrea's got her tip of the week.
So this week, the tip is more concerning your health. So something that I have learned lately with my journey with Gary Brecka, and I want to say, if you're not following him, please do. He's a human biologist and he will change your life. But I found out lately that, we all take vitamin D3, and I've been taking it for years, but just vitamin D3. And what I've learned in the last couple of weeks, that if you don't take a certain ratio of vitamin D3 with K2, vitamin K2, you're not getting the full benefit of the vitamin D3. And the K2 helps with the absorption of the pill and your calcium.
And what's interesting about that, you see, Andrea and I are very close friends, but I knew about the K2 because I have a friend in Spain that actually studies a lot of nutritional products and supplements and stuff. And she had told me, because I'd had some problems with my joints, and she said this will help. But she said you need the K2 with the vitamin D3, which I had been doing.
Oh.
And it's kind of interesting because, you take for granted sometimes when you know something, because you don't tell everybody absolutely everything that's going on in your life, but you don't know whether or not they know it or not know it.
Right.
And it could make a difference. And that's why we have the show, to share all these things that as we're going along in our journey, we're sharing with you and any of the experiences and stuff.
Right.
And before we got started here, I was smiling and Andrea was asking me, what's up? They had this saying, right? Smile, it makes everybody wonder what you've been up to.
Yes.
So I had come out of one of the bedrooms that I always use to fix myself up, and I realized...
To beautify
yourself.
yourself.
Right. But I realized that I really didn't have my lipstick on as nice as yours because I didn't reapply it. And I was just smiling because part of what we were talking about earlier was this beauty on the outside. And I was accepting myself. I said, it's okay. I don't have a lot of lipstick on, but I have some. If we had the budget to have our makeup artists and stuff, we'd be really looking.
Wonderful.
We'd be looking really prime. But that's all it was that.
Yeah,
I didn't
maybe
have
not,
much
Linda.
lipstick.
Sometimes too much is too much. Sometimes you see these women on TV and stuff, and you think, whoa, that's a lot of makeup.
But to project, and with dancers, because you had daughters that were into dance, the makeup has to be extreme, right? And
extreme.
yeah, because of the lighting, the cameras, the pictures, all of that stuff.
That's true.
Yeah. So I did take a makeup course one time. You'd never tell, but anyway, my sister and I did that, and we looked like streetwalkers when we got out of there. It was like unbelievable.
Oh,
yeah. So
funny.
Sometimes too much is way too much.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the reason we were going to be talking about, the shout out to women, and you wanted to do your little quote on the shout out.
Yeah, I read something online. It was a shout out to all the women that haven't felt okay lately, but still got up, showed up, and didn't quit. And that's how I've been feeling the last couple of weeks. I have some very, very heavy issues on my shoulder, one medical, one relationship related, and it's weighing on me. And it would be so easy just to stay in bed, cover my head, and
hope that it goes away.
Hope it goes away, or tell the world to go away. But, that doesn't help. It's not helping the situation. So, and you feel worse. You get more depressed, more down. So I've decided, and you have to make the decision to get up, get yourself, brush your teeth, wash your face, get dressed, do something, make the bed, or, I'm constantly looking at Gary Brecka's YouTubes and stuff. So maybe do that. Maybe something there will spark something good. Just keeping yourself busy, because it does make you feel good. And I've been drinking more water, because that'll help keep you hydrated. And I've been going outside and grounding more to get some energy from the earth. And
I love that you've been doing that, only because, as Andrea's mentioned on a previous episode, we grew up
barefoot
as kids barefoot.
Definitely.
And it was interesting how really for the summer, we really never wore shoes practically at all. And it wasn't that we were poor, that we couldn't afford shoes, but everybody played outside.
Because we lived on the lake.
We did.
We lived on a lake.
We're in and out of the water constantly.
Right.
But even
running up and down Albert Street in our bare feet.
In our bare feet, and it was gravel, but we just got used to it.
Yes.
And
our feet were tough.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
And we had lots of energy.
Yes.
And maybe that's why we were getting all this energy from the earth.
Well, that and the fact that we were a lot younger.
Yeah, that's true.
But
age shouldn't be defining you.
No.
Because your body, yes, it can age, but if you give it the right nutritions, the right vitamins, the right food, you will feel younger. Your body needs certain nutrients and food to fuel it. And if you fuel it properly, you shouldn't age like you imagine. We imagine that, oh, you're old. That's because you're old. Well, Gary Brecka says no. It's not the way. You can fool your body.
But also, I think you do have to take the initiative. If something's going on, you need to find out what that source is, so that you can deal with that. Because you can't treat something that you have no idea what it is, and then just sum it all up to, oh, it's old age, which a lot of people like to say, including a lot of doctors.
Right.
They like to say, well, it's just old age. It's just old age. It's not just old age, because you see some people that are much older in way better shape, and you think, well, they're old. How come they're in better shape?
And that's what we see in Florida all the time.
We do.
But anyways, getting back to the, just get up and talk to yourself, because we talk about manifestation all the time, and your brain will listen to you. So if you say, you get up and you say, okay, this is going to be a great day. I feel good. I'm alive. My children are alive. Let's get going. Let's get busy. Let's be happy today. And you tell yourself that, and it'll come to pass.
But also, along with that is using the support of friends or family to help you through something, because you could be at your most challenged, and then, at some point in the future when you look back, because this too shall pass, and you will realize it wasn't as bad as what you thought. But going through it, because again, Andrea's going through her personal challenges, I'm going through some in my own family, and it's been really, really difficult, but you have to persevere. You've got to keep moving forward, because again, no matter what happens in the end, the fact is you've done your best. You've done your best in the sense of I'll say, in the talk, in the research, in the doing, in whatever it's going to take to keep moving in that forward.
Right. Because nobody knows what tomorrow is going to bring. So,
and we're not alone in that journey.
And we're not alone. Like Linda and I were talking, and we were talking about a certain issue, and a friend happened to walk by, and we were talking, and lo and behold, did he have some information for us? And we're going to use it. Linda's going to use it. So you never know, just by talking about your situation. I know a lot of people like to hold everything in. Oh, I feel ashamed. I feel this. I feel that. Why? Everybody has issues.
Everybody does.
And if it's something that you feel embarrassed about, so what?
Get over it.
Who cares what people think?
Yeah.
Care about yourself and your loved ones, and
trust the people closest to you, that they're going to be able to
I'm not
help
saying
you
go
and support.
tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry on the street.
Yeah.
But it's your closest people, the people you trust, and that have your back.
Absolutely.
And that's so important, and it also helps you get it off your chest. Like you say, you feel like you're not alone. Like I know that sometimes when I've had a cold and I've spent like say 2 days in my room, uh, I I feel terrible mentally. It's horrible. Like I know you just did it. But,
I was just going to say,
but
I
you
just
like
experienced that. Yeah.
But you're
I spent 2.5 days in bed
Yeah.
recently with a cold or flu or something. And
But didn't you feel like you weren't a part of the world anymore?
not really.
Oh yeah, because you live alone and
I
you don't have
do.
to worry. I feel like, oh, the
You're
world,
missing something.
the world is happening around me, and I'm alone in this bed. Like, and then I feel more depressed. So that's why sometimes I'll say, okay, just get up and get in the shower and go out and sit with your family. You'll feel better, and you do. You do feel
Well,
better.
I would if I had somebody to
Yeah,
sit with.
see,
but
that's the thing. You didn't, but most people will just, lay in their bed and wallow like in
well,
their...
I didn't wallow.
Yeah.
I didn't wallow, and I slept a lot because I know that when I'm not well, I need to sleep and sleep and sleep, and I am very good at sleeping.
Yes,
so
she is.
my body heals very quickly because I give that
and that's
body
true.
a chance
The
to really,
rest, because you're always on the go otherwise.
Yeah.
So sometimes your body probably really does need the rest, and that's what it's
Absolutely.
telling you.
And maybe that's why, because I have no idea how I got sick. I wasn't
Right.
around anybody that was sick. And then to wake up one morning and feel sick, it was like, what the heck?
I know.
But it happens, right? And maybe you touch something, and I'm
Right.
notorious for washing my hands constantly. I have ever since I was a kid.
You were away.
I was away, and even my hotel room. As much as I love the hotel, it was clean, it was wonderful. It was like a freezer. And I was telling my sister, I said, and even though I had to literally shut off the air because I couldn't get it so that it was down or up, wherever, you know what I mean, to make it warmer in the room. So I just shut it off totally, but it was still on the cool side. And I'm not a person who deals well with the cold. And again, I don't know if that happened because it was, shortly after that trip that all of a sudden I got sick and
Right.
whatever it is. But I need to sleep, and I know that that's what works for me. But I mean, in between waking up, I did call my sisters and, talk to them a bit. Again, for the support that I am still alive.
Yeah.
And everything's okay. Because even when
Yeah.
Andrea and I talked, a couple days later, she goes, "It's funny you didn't call over the weekend."
I was like, because I was dealing with these issues, I didn't call Linda. But then when I sat down on Sunday, I thought, well, that is funny. Linda hasn't talked to me since Thursday. I hope she's okay. So I phoned, and that's when I found out she was sick. And so there you go. Like, yeah, you always have to, if you don't hear from people in a day or two, give them a quick call or a little message, hey, are you okay? And because some things are just...
It's funny you mentioned that because I was supposed to go in this golf tournament on the Sunday, and that morning I had to cancel because I'd been in bed all day the day before, and then there was no way I could get out of bed and do this, and we had to walk, unfortunately, which I have problems with my joints anyway, but that wasn't the point. I knew I didn't have the strength because of feeling under the weather, and I had to call my friend.
And you don't want to spread it.
No, of course not. But also I wouldn't have been a good, partner for anybody. But the point of when you said that about, they never even called and said, "So how are you doing?" Because I know you're sick, and I'm like, geez.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay, friend. But it's when you think about it that way, it's like I couldn't be somewhere with you. Maybe you should check up on me. I do live alone,
That's
but
true.
they didn't.
That's true.
So I will call them actually.
Well, that's
and,
funny you
let
say
them
that,
know.
because one time when I was in Florida, this is years ago, and Eddie had left that morning or that afternoon to come back to Toronto, but I was very sick.
Oh.
So I went back to the condo and I took some medication and like literally passed out. 2 days later, when I finally looked at my phone, there was a zillion phone calls. I go, what the heck? Well, the day Eddie flew out, there was the shooting at the Fort Lauderdale airport.
Oh.
And everybody was wondering if he was okay. And meanwhile, I'm out cold. And then they started worrying about me. Maybe I was there and I got, like, you see, when you don't communicate with people and they try to get a hold of you, it's a scary thing. So, try to be aware of that. Like you might say, oh, why are they bothering me? Well, they just want to check on you.
Yeah,
you know?
they're just concerned. But that's why it's important when you're going through something, you don't have to do it alone.
That's right.
Like there's always going to be somebody, hopefully, in your circle. Like Andrew said, people you can trust that will have your back, that you can share this journey of whatever it is to help you through it. Because sometimes we need someone to nudge us.
And sometimes, I've been through certain things, you've been through certain things. So somebody might be going through something you've already been through.
Absolutely. That's a good point.
You can be a rock for them. You can say, listen, I know it's tough right now.
Yeah.
But if you do it day by day by day, you're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then you're going to be so happy that you did it.
It's true. The baby steps make a difference, but sometimes you do need somebody who's been through it already.
Right.
Because even in support groups, and there's support groups for everything.
Yes.
But that's what they talk about. It's just that little step at a time.
Just live for today. Get through today.
Yep. And give yourself credit when you're getting through and making progress like that.
If you've gone a day and you feel better and you've made yourself, if you just even washed a dish and that took everything you had, be proud. Be proud. Like they say, don't think about your failures.
Yeah.
Be proud of your
accomplishments.
Yeah. No matter how small. If you brushed your teeth and you got out of your pajamas and that took all your strength, then be proud.
Yep.
Because tomorrow will be easier to do
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's the way you have to deal with issues and problems.
But that's
head on.
Through work or at home.
Don't
in your
give
personal.
up.
Don't give up. Yes.
Don't give up.
Like Nike says, just do it.
Just do it. Because there is usually a light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely.
And I mean, apart from death, which is heartbreaking, and you too shall get through this.
True enough.
Many women, many men, many mothers, fathers, they've been there, they've done it, and they've gone on to do great things. Like if it was drug related or like that, they've started committees and they've gone around speaking about it and made life better for other young teenagers. A lot of support families.
Because when somebody has lost somebody, especially when you lose somebody, it's true. There is, when you have that network of other people that are struggling and you've already experienced it and somebody helped you through it, then you want to share that with other people.
Because you might know what they need.
Yeah.
Like, I've never lost my husband, knock on wood. So I don't know what to say or do to a recent widow that might help her. Whereas somebody who did go through it, they know. Maybe it's just sitting there and letting them talk and talk and talk and talk about the person. Sometimes that helps, Like when I lost my father, for example, I like being around people that knew my dad and we talked about it and we laughed and we had fun. Whereas another friend of mine, she couldn't even look at the picture of her mother after she died. It was too hurt. It was too hard for her. So, okay, we won't talk about her then if that's what helps you get over it. And now she's fine. Now she can.
Well, it's good. But I told you about a person I knew that when she lost her elderly mother, and nobody wants to lose anybody.
No.
Okay, but her mother was elderly, did live a good life, but she couldn't get over it, but she wouldn't go for help. And she gave up on life totally.
Wow.
And that is not good if you don't go and get the support that you need. So at that point, she really needed professional help.
Yes.
And there is professional help out there.
Definitely.
But she chose not to. But she did that at the expense of her family. So now she doesn't have any kind of, I'll say, quality of life. Because she's now regressed so much.
That's sad.
It is sad. It's sad for her
and
kids,
that was
but
from
it's sad
her
for the
elderly
grandkids.
mother's death?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like I tell my kids and my grandkids and everything, it's a circle of life. Like you have to know, like, because my daughter's always wanting a dog. I say, you have to know before you get that dog that you are going to outlive that animal.
Yeah.
So don't be, getting an animal if you don't think you can handle that kind of grief, so, but it's a circle of life, at some point we all lose somebody, and I know it's hard, but day by day you learn to put that person in a memory box and move on with the people that are still there around you, like your children, your grandkids, whatever. And I know it's hard, but like you say, reach out to people who've been through it.
Whatever the problem, we're not talking just death.
No, not death.
We're just talking about
I was saying
issues.
that was the one issue that's really hard to deal with, and you really need professional help. And,
you do,
and
a lot of people
and stuff.
Yes.
But for other issues, like
where it seems like you're alone and you'll never get through this. Looking back, you're going to be able to take a lesson from that.
Exactly.
But just realize that whether it's a professional or a support group or just friends that you trust or family that have your back, that you can talk about and get through whatever it is that you need to get through, because you can and will. And that's the whole point of our show, is to women to support other women.
Right.
We want to build you up and help you to keep moving forward.
Yes.
That's what we do for each other, and that's what we hope that we're doing for you.
So you have to be strong.
Absolutely.
You have to be strong every day.
And if you're not, get strong by leaning on somebody.
Yes. Other women will carry you along and take you out for a movie, take you out for lunch.
And
it lifts your spirits.
Do you know that that saying about, and this goes back, I can't remember it's footprints in the sand, but anyway, it has to do with the fact that when you're really struggling and you're counting on God or whoever your spiritual person is, but you're saying like you're struggling and you're talking, and it's like, how come you're not there?
You left me alone.
You left me alone. And
there was only a single
set of footprints. And he goes, that's when I carried you.
That's when I carried you. Oh my God. That's so touching.
I love it.
And the other song that I love is He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother.
Yeah.
That song brings me to tears all the time. Yeah.
So know that you're not alone. And we're here for you. If you need us, little chat.
Right. We'll lift you up.
Yeah.
Maybe you can lift us up this week.
Yeah. We could use it.
We could use it. So you could lift us up by liking,
subscribing,
and sharing.
And don't forget the thumbs up. They really matter.
And also our Spotify.
Oh yes, we're on Spotify now. So if you don't have a chance to watch us, you can just listen to us on Spotify. So please look us up there.
Yes.
So until next time, I'm Linda.
I'm Andrea.
We're Success in Women, and we're looking forward to meeting with you next week.
Have a great week, ladies. Bye.